Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. It's about time we start off with our first discussion segment on this morning on ITV. And with us here in the studio is one-time vice chairman of Avon local government, one-time acting chairman of Avon local government, and entrepreneur politician. Jimmy, to welcome Honorable Desmond Ugbo. Honorable, welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Wisi.
Thank you for
appreciate
your coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, so President, I would be asking questions pertaining this particular topic. It's all about 2023 and the question of picking a running mate. We're expecting Professor Julius E.S. Jonas in the studio, and of course, Barrister Alao Amin. You know, in broadcasting the show, the sale will definitely go on. Where they come, they join in on this discussion. So, the issue of running mate has been on the front burner. You get to hear the APC at first they said, look, they have a running mate and it's going to make it a Muslim ticket. Now, due to pressure from Nigerians and from diaspora, it's like the candidate of the APC want to change his mind. I mean, picking of a running mate, when you talk about religion or ethnicity, does it really matter from your own analysis?
Thank you, Wisi. Let me firstly debunk the insinuation that APC said they are going to feed Muslim ticket, or rather, they have been pressurized now to have a rethink as to their initial stand. Let me tell you straight point that APC is currently consulting. The idea of Muslim ticket or Christian ticket does not arise in the first place. The reason being that the constitution of our country is very clear about the issue of religion. Section 10 of the 1999 constitution as amended made it very clear that no government, whether federal or state, should adopt a particular religion in the running of the government. That goes to show that the question of Muslim ticket or Christian ticket is a far cry from the reality. You know, this is politics, and indeed we are operating a secular system of government where no particular religion is meant to dominate, or rather government trying to adopt a particular religion over the other. Nigeria, as it is today, does not have the Christian and Muslim as the only religion. There are several religions that are there. People are even proud to practice their religion. Recall recently where you see Macron, Barrister Macron, going to court with his own religious attire, an indication that there are several religions that are there. One is not talking about that. But the point is this, that when you as a political party is feeding a candidate, morality dictates that you must have a kind of a consideration to other religion, which is not so pronounced in our legal basis, but you must carry people along. And what is topmost in the priority of any political party is the ability to win an election, not necessarily taking religion into consideration, because at the end of the day, there is no section of the Constitution that says that certain religions should occupy certain positions, certain religions should occupy certain ministry, parastatals, or thereabout. So all these are pointed to the fact that, yes, you know, there are kind of politics that greeted this picking of running mates. It all started when, after the primaries, political party now begin to consult their political members and leaders with a view to coming out with a good pair that will give them the needed victory come 2023. PDP has done their own, and even it is now a controversy greeting the picking of their running mate. APC has also picked a running mate, but it is made known that the consultation for a viable running mate that will guarantee success in the victory in the election, and indeed equality is what the APC is scouting for. Not to say that the person that is being picked now does not have the requisite quality, because he was the former welfare secretary to the Oshomole-led National Executive Committee, and he has also served in several capacities as far as this country is concerned, and currently is a member of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru. So all these are certain qualities that he has. But then, when we are talking about winning an election, you must go all out to look at the various indices that will guarantee you the needed victory. You can see that in Nigeria today, the politics of today is different from that of yesterday. The crop of candidates that political party has thrown up in this contest, they are more contentious than the one we have had before. A situation where they not have their own share, where Atiku comes from. The South, you can see the freezing that is greeting Peter Obi and that of Tinubu in the South. And we also had Kwankwaso, who is also from North. All these are certain gladiators that the party will need to sit down and look for a political science, the right political science and permutation that will give them the needed victory. You don't just go picking running mate for running mate's sake. After all, running mate does not have such power to determine the success of the candidate, as it were, but as a supportive factor and a supportive agent. So far as to say that when people are talking about Christian Muslim or Muslim ticket, recall that in 1992, when Moshood Abiola was nominated as the candidate of SDP, Babagana Kingebi was also a Muslim, and both of them were a good pair. And the outcome of that result today, we are still striving, Nigeria as a country is still striving to beat the record of how free, how fair that election was. That goes to show that initially, the idea of religion does not have any bearing with the politics of our land. And let me also point that at the beginning of this 1999 dispensation of democracy, the Christian perhaps were not interested in politics. Those who managed to summon courage to participate in the nascent democracy were branded as dirty politicians. A situation that gave birth to the formation of CAN under Orise Jafo was the first CAN president in this country in history. So it was there and there, Christians were beginning to encourage, to come into politics. You are saying that politicians are dirty. Politics is dirty. Who will now clear the mess that you are insinuating without coming to join those who are contesting? We saw the likes of Chris Okotie, who have been contesting, trying to come there and right the wrongs that he observed from afar. So until you go inside a hall where a meeting is being held, you cannot change anything there. Shouting from outside, there is nothing you can do about it.
That, the Muslim ticket or the Christian ticket in the case of Peter Obi, is he healthy for us now as a nation at this moment that we have?
The reason why I'm sure people are clamoring that this thing should be balanced on the basis of faith is because of what people have observed in the current government. The recent spate of killings and those heinous crimes perpetrated by certain set of people is being tagged to a certain religion, which now make others to be apprehensive that if we continue like this, the faith and the security of the citizen cannot be guaranteed. But in the face of this, we also have a Christian who is a vice president, and in his own capacity what has it done differently? If we are asking that perhaps it was because he was a Christian that all these things were able to reduce or ameliorated to this extent, what has it done differently? Well, the truth is this: we should strive and have a president that is tolerant, a president that can unite the country regardless of your religious inclination. We should strive to have a president who is antecedent by way of making some more chances that try to incite and instigate the people against a certain religion. We should strive to look for a president that has been very forthright, that has the project Nigeria in his heart and in his antecedent. We have tested all these people. Some are not trusted, some are trusted by way of our individual opinion and rating. So that is enough for them to go into the field, and we, the electorate, should rate them by all they have done in the past. So based on this, the question, the reason why I'm here saying that it is not the religion of the running mate that matters. It is the quality and the capability, the capacity of the president. As a nation, I have said that the volatility of the nation today is aggravated by the killings, the heinous crime, the insecurity that has been perpetrated so far so bad that people are beginning to point accusing finger to a particular set of people. We have seen that people are being murdered, are being brutally killed in the churches, and we have also seen that people have also been brutally killed in the mosque. Now, it does not have, insecurity or rather crime is no respect of any religion. So we've seen from both sides. Is it not yesterday? I saw it on air when about 50 children were found in an underground in a church in Ondo State. So can we now say that the Christian is more safer in religion than the Muslim now? So crime and criminality is not respect of any religion. So what we should be talking about is that let political party come out with the first best 11. People that have the mind to right the wrongs, to repair this country, to take this country from this period that we are in to a situation where we begin to think, oh, today is better than yesterday. Not a situation where we should be thinking of what we were in yesterday that perhaps is better than what we are in today. So all these are certain things. It is high time we electorate should be asking those candidates to pick certain people in the society that we have seen that have distinguished themselves.
Now, if you take
other than relying on religion, permutation, or religiosity.
All right, now, from what you said at the onset, you said your party is still consulting, but there's a memory which you mentioned, like, standby vice president, so to speak. If you go to Labour Party also, the same thing, call it the vice president in standing. Now, now, if they are having doubts, how come they use that term? For now, it's just there, but we're still consulting. If religion will not play a key role in this election. I
say this, the fact that, yes, that the Labour Party, the PDP, the APC, and indeed the NNPP are fitted in what is now known as placeholder. Is
that term, placeholder. If they are so sure of it,
is because the parties want to beat the deadline for submission of running mate. INEC have guidelines, they have timelines, they have certain template on how they operate. And these things were released long before now, until recently when the parties, all the political parties felt that they cannot meet with the guidelines. They now started clamoring for INEC to extend the date for the conduct of primaries and others. So that minute, INEC yielded to that pressure and he extended it by a few days. And now, that also affected it. You can see what this haste submission of names has cost to some political party today. There are a lot of controversy that would have been resolved within a time frame that they find it unable to resolve because of the haste to submit a name. And the idea of, say, we have submitted a name as a placeholder, like I said, is to beat the deadline. That is not to say that the law does not also allow the persons, whoever they have submitted to that place, to deny or refuse to say, I'm not stepping down. That is where the problem will lie. because the relevant section of the Electoral Act has made it very clear that until and unless the running mate that they have submitted his or her name as a placeholder in quote writes with his own hand to the party to withdraw his nomination or to step down, and also go to court to swear to an affidavit which the party will now submit to INEC, telling them that the person that we have nominated before has withdrawn, and this is the person we are now submitting. There is also a timeline with which you can do this. So, and the party, like I said, APC, for example, said they are consulting. This is a game. This is a game. I don't want you to outsmart me. I don't want Sami Dame to outsmart me. So what I want is victory at last. So whichever means I use within the ambit of the law to get there should not be anybody's concern. But at last, what we the electorate should be asking for is that the person to be nominated as running mate, let the person be a credible, a sound-minded person that have even demonstrated in terms of governance and administration in time past, so that when he brings the experience he has gathered thus far to bear in assisting the president, Nigeria will come out from the wood. That should be topmost in our priority. Instead of asking wherever this person is coming from, whether it's Ayolala member, whether it's Ogun member, whether all these are religion. We are not considering all these things. Why can't we talk about asking Ayolala to submit a name for a running mate? These are religion. Why don't we talk about Onoku, Ogun, Oromila, and the rest of them? These are religions.
It's going to be a form of discrimination for other religions.
That is, you have answered my question, because the idea is that we should not be so petty in labeling whoever a party chooses to nominate as a running mate under one particular religion. We should jettison the idea of labeling it as a religion, but use the competence and the quality of the person as a yardstick. Because at the end of the day, tomorrow, whatever the person is doing, people will now be tagging it to religion. That it is because the man is a Muslim, that is why he's doing this way. It is because, look at the people he has appointed. Look at the people he has appointed. But the laws of our land does not say so. But moral etiquette dictates that, yes, whatever you are doing, let it be a semblance of carrying everybody along. And until Nigeria is taken outside a religious box, we will continue to have instability, because religion is a tool, a potent tool for instability and anarchy. And we have seen that in time past, that those who are saying, okay, when this Deborah was killed, how many Christians came out to, this Deborah, when she was killed, how many Christians have their voice to condemn it and come out to protest? Can they dare that? So when you are saying we are Christian, fine. Like I said before, there were so many biblical fashions they use in condemning politicians that they are dirty people. They are dirty people until the politicians themselves started now inviting Christians to gatherings, using their members as a way of stakeholders in their quest to get to the office. So before the churches and the head of churches themselves were not having relevance. Today now, we have seen, even in Edo State in the last election, heads of Christianity were coming out to throw their weight behind a particular candidate. Others were endorsing the other candidate. All these are pointed to the fact that religiously, it is not their role to so come out and begin to say, this one, God tell me that he's going to be a... Yeah, so we saw what happened in Adoration Church when Ubaka was saying certain things, and the people came out to rebuke him. And as we stand today, the church, I'm not sure, is holding. It has affected the people. Why dabbling into certain field that is not yours? Religious leaders should be there to pray, advise, let what come out of your mouth. Direct the electorate, direct the people. Set a template for those who are in authority to begin to behave well. A situation whereby in churches you see people who have stolen in the society, are being worshipped, are being praised, are given a proper place in the church. What do you expect others who have the mind to do things in line with God's faith, genuinely to do, when you, with your faith, with your genuinity, you don't have money, you are looked down upon. Whereas those who have cut corners to amass wealth dubiously are being praised and worshipped in the society. These are certain things the church should have come in to condemn and reduce in our society.
Okay, if you take a look at the elections in the past, talking about the 2015 election that brought in this administration, according to report, it was supposed to be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because of the Muslim thing, he had to step down for Professor Yemi Osinbajo because of the Christian Muslim thing. I don't think that that is what we should be looking at to create a balance in this country.
Let me tell you this, we see today. At the beginning, you know, it's like a strange bedfellow that came together to usher in that government at the onset. I mean, the APC under Buhari. A strange bedfellow in the sense that some of these NPDP members who came alongside them, Saraki, Dino Melaye, Bubam Galadima, the rest of them, they all came. And you know, in politics, you bring all the things to negotiation table, we share it equally. Saraki was not the choice of the Senate president at the beginning. It was this Ahmed Lawan. Saraki thought that if he allowed Tinubu to be the vice president, and that he too was going for Senate presidency, he's a Muslim. Saraki is a Muslim. He came out with that permutation because he saw that with the caliber of person of Tinubu, he will not allow that one to fly. And at the end of the day, in defiance to party directive, when President Muhammadu Buhari was talking to the senators on how to go about their nomination, Saraki connived with other political party members. They were doing their inauguration there. He became a dissident member of the party within. So it was Saraki that launched that attack that it shouldn't be a Muslim ticket.
To create a balance.
To create a balance.
Because we have to.
How was he able, he that brought about such a institution, how was he able to balance the government going forward in that era? So, yeah, because everything about politics is about interest. No permanent friend, no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. It was his interest that he was getting against. And that he said, how has he stand by it? So, when you are talking about, I am not against Christian ticket. I am not in favor of Christian ticket. We must look at the laws of our land. It should be our guide. Is that what the Constitution say? Does the Constitution tell us that when you are a Christian, you must nominate a Muslim? Has that been done in the appointment of all other ministry, department, and agency head? In this country, we have seen under Jonathan, for example, we see that he was a president. Majority of the service chiefs were all from one region of the country. Has he been able to balance that? It is high time we begin to look holistically what should be done to carry everybody along. Because what people are agitating for now is born out of neglect, derecognition, and segregation within the system. Until the system harmonizes everybody together and make everybody equal, it is because that we are suffering under a failed system. How? It is those in authority that control the system. Normally, in advanced climate, it is the system that controls everybody. The system, we are talking about all the various laws. If you do the crime, you go and do the time. No, I beg. Know that you have a brother in authority who will make a phone call to the nearest person and say, release him, he's my brother. Nothing like that. It is because those in authority are the people controlling the system. Allow the system to control everybody so that everybody will be tied to the apron strings of the laws of our land. So that we can be all equal. Nobody, if you go to advanced country, you don't know those who are rich, you don't know those who are poor. We enter the same train station, we enter the same bus, we go to the same market, the same supermarket, everything. You see everybody just doing things as if we are all equal. It is the law
that says that. It is the system that regulates it. But here in this country, until anybody, if Jesus Christ comes today, the next 3 months, they will stone him. If anybody comes today and say, I want to be a president of this country, because of the system that is currently practiced on ground, there will be a fault. There will be an error. So until we continue to strive and drum into the ears of whoever eventually emerge as a president, and look, the best bet to go about the administration of this country is the rule of law. We've seen the late Umaru Yaradua tested it, and it works. Within the short space of time he lived as a president, we saw everybody was gradually moving towards that Eldorado, a system where everybody will be happy to say, yes, I'm a Nigerian. But after his death, we drifted away from that direction, and we begin to cut short in all that we were given to administer. So until we begin to submit all we have to the system and allow the system to tell us what to do, we'll continue like this.
But don't you think those who have pleaded different religions as their vice presidential candidates might have upper hand over those who have say and religion going on the platform?
Okay, now the political permutation of our country is this. Let us be factual here that the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, though is a Muslim, is a Southern Muslim, is not that accepted by the extreme Muslim in the core north. How can a Muslim, you have a pastor as a wife, like Tinubu said the other day, he said both of them when they sleep, the Bible and their Quran will be kept behind their head. So, because the man has a tolerant mind, and the mind of saying, in line with section 38, subsection 1 of our constitution, which says that everybody, every person should be allowed to practice his thought, his religion. And you also have the freedom to change from your first religion to another. So that is what the man is looking at. If you see people who are adhering strictly to the laws of our land, you will know them. We have also seen that Atiku has also married different faiths, and they are living happily together. It doesn't stop them from becoming husband and wife. So when you are extremely disregarding that a Christian should not cohabit with a Muslim, you are not a Nigerian. Except you have your own personal constitution that you are practicing that enable you to say so or take that stand. So when people who says that Atiku should not take a Christian or he should have gone for a Muslim so that the Muslim should have voted for him, or Tinubu who is making sure that he wins the election as others are making sure that they win the election, it is not making noise on social media. You must do the needful by way of reaching out to the core people, the real people on ground. Majority of those who rated the social media, most of them are not in Nigeria. They are dictating from outside the country because they have the accessibility to social media. So all this boils down to the fact that whoever that a particular political party choose to nominate as his running mate should not bother the electorate. But the quality of the running mate should be what bothers them.
The quality of the running mate should be what bothers them. But you just can't take it away from Nigeria right now about religious divide, because that has been the major question on the ground. To me, that's a primary question on the ground. That crave for balance. Don't you think if they should go ahead with this placement right now in court, vote will be according to religious ground?
If we go by religious ground,
it's a question I'm asking. Don't you
no,
think
if we go
like that?
If we go like that,
Yes.
Whoever wants to win must have the input of other religion. And let me tell you, let nobody beat his chest and say because he's a Christian he's going to win. If we want to go by the numbers of states that have a religious background, the Muslims have it. If we want to go by population, how many of us in the south marries more than one wife nowadays? And we are talking about population here. It is population that determines the eventual winner. If I'm in the north by now, I would have married more than 5 wives with 20 children or 30 children. And I have 30 votes automatically. And you in the south that is shouting, hey, you have 2 children, 1 wife. Can you stand me? So religious has also encouraged population in some part of the country. In a way. So we shouldn't look at whether if I'm a Christian will vote for me. In the house of God, even
why decide?
I say, you see, the way I will organize my church will be different from how you organize your church. Whereas Muslims, they have one way of conducting their messages and their own services.
All right. Now,
so it all boils down to division.
I just have to
which arise from the Torah Babel, building of the Torah Babel.
I have to
it's playing out
short right now because we want to go for a very short break to invite other guests to add voice to this particular discussion, talking about Barrister Alhaji Amin Alao. We'll be right back to continue the discussion. Don't go away.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. This morning on ITV, you can call it that. Should be on point. It's all about 2023 election and the question of running mate. Joining us right now in the studio, he is a legal practitioner and Islamic scholar. Joining to welcome Barrister Alao Amin. Welcome to TMI. So this edition. I appreciate your comment.
Good morning, viewers.
Well, we are still expecting the likes of Professor Julius Iyase. I wonder why he's not in the studio with us. Maybe due to unforeseen circumstances. I do not really know. I can't tell you later. We'll get to find out why. But Barrister, you are here. Honorable is sharing his opinions and views on this particular topic. You know, the religious question of picking a running mate. Some are saying Muslim or Christian. It not all go well for Nigerians to go out to exercise their franchise. What's your mindset on this particular topic?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nigeria, I think, independence since 1960. And those who have been at the ends of affairs in this country have been Muslims and Christians. And here we are. You see, I think we are just playing to the gallery when we start emphasizing religion to pick candidates in an election instead of considering the real fact of competence. So most of the time, you end up getting the square peg in the round hole or the round peg in the square hole. And of course, the result is very clear to all of us. Security challenges, economic problem, and the rest of it. Up to now, no regular supply of electricity, no good roads. Meanwhile, we travel abroad, overseas countries, and we see what is obtained there. But instead of bringing what is obtained there to our country, Nigeria, we would rather import the toilet fittings there and bring it to your toilet and the rest of it. So, to me, issue of religion should be downplayed. And of course, our politicians too have tried to capitalize on that, to play on our intelligence. And the question is, if you are a Muslim and a Muslim becomes your governor or president, will he because of that come and be giving you money? Or if you are a Christian becomes the president or the governor, will he come and be giving you money? If we actually know the implication of the position of authority, in fact, you will run away from it. Because people believe it's a place you go to make money, not for service. Assuming you go there for selfless service, real selfless service, you will not prefer that at the rest of that religion, let them go there, let them go and work for us while we enjoy. Let them go and suffer for us while we enjoy. But because there is this crave to amass wealth, an average Nigerian politician will say, I'm a politician. So, and that explains why
the political parties are now having difficulty to now zero down on Muslim ticket or Christian ticket, because the society have been brought up in such a way that that sense of discrimination, bias, prejudice is already there. As Edo says an example, we have Christian ticket. I said, what's bad in that? Muslims are not carrying placard. So if, like the 1993 elections, Abiola Kigibe, Muslim ticket, they won the election, but of course, he did not ascend the throne. This is a presidency. Perhaps we'll have said, okay, let us even see how they will perform. You see, we need to be objective. For example, let's get into football. When you see a particular team buying a striker to its club, it doesn't care where you come from, whether you are Muslim or you are Christian. It is how good that particular player is as a defender, as a midfielder, fielder, or as a striker. Meaning that what can you perform, what can you deliver? Nobody is interested on the pitch, your religion, or your tribe, or ethnicity. Colonial masters that colonized us, before they left, we saw the standard. Look at South Africa, that did not get independence on time. Look at the standard in South Africa. That's why some people say that, oh, we will have preferred to remain under colonialism and be exploited by them, and then we have development than our people who have now enslaved us in our own country, using religion and ethnicity to continue to deceive us. And we too were using the same thing to deceive ourselves. You see, if you really talk of who is a Muslim, who is a Christian, by nomenclature, yes, we have been having Muslims and Christians by nomenclature, but we have not been having real practicing Muslim, real practicing Christian in offices, because a real practicing Muslim will not steal a dime. He believes that the Almighty God will hold him to account on Judgment Day. A real practicing Christian will not steal a penny. Jesus said that it will be easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter paradise. Prophet said that the poor ones will be in paradise 500 years before the rich one. So the companions of the prophet, who are Muslims, who are leaders, they never stole a penny. We always talk about Abu Bakr. When he was president, commander in chief of armed forces, he could not afford sweet dish. And when the wife managed to save some money and said, my husband, take this money now, buy the sweet dish. He said, how are you able to save? We are meager resources. And he ordered the governor of Central Bank then, Baitul Mal, to cut down his allowance by the amount saved by the wife. He made a comment, said, you are able to, that means we have been receiving over and above our needs. So you are able to save. He cut it down. But today, look at the remuneration, the salaries, the allowances of the political office holders. Nobody is ready to slash it down. Where are the Muslims? Where are the Christians? Are they practicing? They are not practicing. They will start with the Quran and start with the Bible. They go there and loot the treasury and embezzle resources. I'm talking of Christian and Muslim. They are not God-fearing people. Let us drop religion. Let us try to identify people that have the fear of God. People who are ready to render selfless. Look at Mandela was in prison for 27 years. After ruling, they are saying, come again for Islam, okay. Martin Luther King Jr. You can mention even without religion, people who make sacrifices. But by the time you talk of it, reach APC from 100, how much? 100 million. And you see a cleric also buying that form for 100 million. People are saying you ought to have sunk 100 boreholes with a million for other communities. If you are truly a man of God. So these are all deceit. The so-called regalia of religion is being used to deceive us in this country. And I think enough of that. We need to get that very clear. On your own, whichever party you vote for, whichever candidate you vote for, know that on judgment day you will give account. Why did you vote for this particular candidate? If it's on basis of ethnicity or selfishness, then of course, Almighty God will hold you accountable. Because those are the things that are for our downfall.
All right. I'll come back to you, Alhaji. He said this is like an enslavement ploy, so to speak, by politicians to use religion to further divide us. He spoke about, the ethics and, of course, the ethos, the dogma of various religion, about you not being corrupt use the term also non-practicing Christians or Muslim, but they are there just to enrich themselves. Take it up from there.
You heard him. He reiterated what I said before, that the idea of placing a toga of religion over and above who becomes a running mate should be jettisoned in this country. I talked about competence and quality. The quality of the running mate should be topmost in the priority of who become a running mate. So the idea of say Christian, a Muslim, he must be a Muslim, must be a Christian, should be far from the truth. Because what Nigeria need now is egghead, set of people that are competent, that have distinguished themselves in this country, so that they can come in and put things right for us, not on the basis of religion. We've seen people who are front runner in the particular religions of their belief. They have failed us. They have failed us. And those people who are singing that it must be Christian, it must be Muslim, or it must be balanced, they are far away from those that we needed to change this country. It is about their interest. It is about their interest. It is not the interest of Nigeria. We need people who are God-fearing. Like I said before, I say politics is a game. I can't allow you to defeat me. You can't pressurize me to pick somebody who cannot give me a victory. That is what we are seeing today. Those who are scouting for whoever to be their running mate, they are looking at their chances of winning. It does not have any bearing with whatever religions they represent. So, coming to government, like I said, there is nowhere you begin to do things on the basis of your religion. Like I said, we've seen Osinbajo as a vice president. He has not done anything to symbolize that he's doing this for Christian. No, he hasn't. Because those who have not tested that corridor of power, by the time they are voted in, you see them becoming dumb. You might shout, you might say all sorts of things, but when you are now faced with the reality of the ethics of that office, you will see that it's a different ballgame. So that is the reason why I am saying that whoever that the political party feed as their running mate should not bother us. What should bother us is the competence, the capability of that person. Believing that when these two people pair, judging them by their antecedent, they will bring about the needed transformation.
All right. Alhaji, with all you've said right now, does it not mean that Nigerians will not vote according to religious inclination?
Yes, that is my own position. That is my own view. Because that position of mine is not contrary to the position of the Constitution. The Constitution did not say there must be a Muslim and a Christian, or a Christian and a Muslim, or a pagan and a pagan. The Constitution does not say so. It is Nigerians. We are the one dividing it. As far as I am concerned as a person, let the president and the vice president come from a particular part of the country. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
See, when France won the last World Cup, you know how many Africans were in the French team that won the World Cup for France? Each time we start blowing religion out of proportion, it becomes very, 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 very. I know what you see. Look at the Muhammad we believe in. It's not from Nigeria. The Jesus Christ we believe in, it's not from Nigeria. So if you can believe in Jesus Christ that is not from Nigeria, and Muhammad that is not from Nigeria, then in that case, if you want to practice tribalism, then go and look for Muhammad that is from Nigeria, and go and look for Jesus Christ born in your village. So you can see that religion, tribalism and religion should not actually, we are thinking of competence. Those people are competent, who can handle the office. And then, you know, the politicians, because they have studied us, they know how Nigerians will act. And because their own is to win the election at all costs. What it means is that if a political party know very well that the particular candidate is qualified to run the office, and he weighs that qualification with the chances of winning the election, he will drop the person that is competent and pick the person that is not competent but may enable them win the election based on religion or the ethnicity. So that's what I said. But assuming we allow parties to be, go by the antecedents of those you are elected to office, their track record. Then you get it right. You can be thinking of a better Nigeria. But with all this religion, this and that, I don't think there is any. I don't think there's any suspicion in it.
All right, we have other guests for other segments on this particular platform. I'm going to ask one more question before we call it a wrap on this segment. What do you think Nigerians should do now? Because whether you believe it or not, that divided across religious lines, divided across party like that, divided across ethnic lines, divided across geopolitical zones, what do you think they should do in electing their leaders?
For the political party, they should go for the best. Those who are still undecided about their running mate now should go for the best. Give Nigeria the best. Because you cannot expect Nigerians to remain the way it is today going forward. The electorate should leave the idea of religion. Let them throw ethnicity away from this permutation. We should talk about people who are consistent from among the people that have emerged as candidate now, because even the best are yet to emerge as a candidate. There are so many better Nigerians who are better than the ones that we have thrown up now. But from the lots now, from the available, let us look at them critically, taking the antecedent as a yardstick, and also coming out constructively to criticize them, not destructive criticism. We must tell them it is hard time Nigeria begin to come out with certain agenda for them. In this area, this is what this government has not done well. Do this like this and engage them in a debate and see how they react to it, rather than condemning them on the basis of their physical appearance, condemning them on the basis of their political inclination, condemning them on the basis of their religion. It will not do us any good.
All right, thank you so much. Alhaji.
As we have earlier submitted, we should try to fish out candidates, credible candidates, who are competent to deliver this country. Because right now, Nigeria is in serious debt. What is even the attraction? Going there as a president or vice president when the country is not even going. You should know you are going there to work. If actually you are really going there to work and to fix things right, some will be nominated and say, no, I cannot handle it, I cannot cope. We have never seen Nigeria where you say, come and do it, and say, no, I can't do it. I just feel this person is better. If you are really sincere, those are the things that will play out. When they say, oh, allow come and do it, say, no, I think Wesi can do better. I'm not going to that area. We do not see Nigerians behaving this way. Rather, you see quarrels, grievances. Why not me? Why you? These are all the things that play out. And we are thinking of going to really work. If you are really going there to work, there will be no quarrel on who is choosing the religion, the ethnicity, and then very, very importantly, we should pray to Almighty God to come to our guidance and give us a leader that can really deliver Nigeria. And we should not only rely on the person we are even picking. We should rely on Almighty God. If you rely on a particular individual that is all that can do it, he can do nothing. It is only Almighty God that can do. And one of the criteria for getting the person that God has chosen is that that person will not be someone who is lobbying for it. You go and beg him and say, come and help us. If is competent, and God will stand by him to deliver the country.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. Well, you've heard them according to what they said. It's like it's not about religion. It's about confidence. All Nigerians listening. The people are saying that we're already divided across religious lines, geographical zones, and ethnicity. You just named it. What they've said, look beyond religion. What do you feel about that? Gentlemen, thank you once more.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful analysis.
Thank you.
You've heard them. Now go to your PVC. Please go get your PVC because that's the right for you to vote. TMI continues in a moment and other segments. Don't go away.